Alright, so I had to stop, or that's why I stopped, is because I ran into my old boss's husband, Lily. I ran into her husband. You know, which I still got along with her. We just butted heads every now and then, you know, like if I do something wrong is what I'm saying is when it happened. You know, or she thinks I did something wrong and it actually didn't happen. Holly's wife. Holly's my mom's co-worker. You know, so I haven't talked to him since Lily's been gone from my work. And I said, how's Lily and the kids? And he said, doing good. And I said, well, good. I haven't talked to her since she's left A&W. Speaking of which, that's his van that he's getting ready at. So caught up with him a little bit, because I was like, is it Connor? He's like, yeah. I was like, how have you been? I asked him how he was doing. He said, good. And all that, and I said, that's good to hear. And I asked, how long has he been with Surf Pro? He's like, not that, he said quite a while, I think, if I remember right. And he's been with them for a little while at least. And I asked how, because like I said, his wife Lily is my old boss. And granted, I always got along with her. Or at least tried to anyway. I mean, I did, but there's times where we like butted heads. But most of the time we got along. And all that, so not a problem. Got your face on camera. So why does it fucking feel like it's raining? I don't even have, oh yeah, I do a little bit, a tiny bit maybe, but it's fucking weird. just like he's, I don't know. It's just like that guy's being weird. He came out of that random person's driveway, unless if that's either his house or somebody that he knows, but still, it's fucking weird. You know, and so I just talked to Connor that tiny little bit. And I asked, well, how's Lily and the kids? He said, good. You know, a lot happier now that she's, you know, she said a lot better now that she's not at A&W. And I said, good. And he's like, yeah. He asked if I'm still there. I'm like, yeah. He's like, how's it going there? And I said, going good. It's just there's a change, and Tony's changing a lot, you know. And he's like, is that good or bad? And I said, it's a mix of both good and bad. You know, he's trying to help get, change everything around to get sales up because of the fire, which I look at as a good thing. I don't like it because I'm tired of getting yelled at for being there late. You know, and there's some changing some stuff around to, that Tony didn't like from when Lily was there. She had it set up her way, way she ran things, and I got used to that way, and now they're changing everything. So that's why I look at it as a bad thing, but it's not entirely a bad thing. It's more for the good, because he's trying to get the store set up the way it should have been and running the way it should have been from the get-go, which I get it. A lot of managers have a lot their own way to run the store, but if corporate wants it a certain way, that's how it's going to be. So I can't argue that. So I'm only hitting Henry and then going back. I don't have much time to dick around. Plus it's starting to get sticky and humid, and I'm getting warm, and and Autumn says that they're trying to find a closer, which I believe, which is a good thing that they're trying to change to get me off of closing, only because I don't want to close anymore. I told them I don't want to anymore. And Autumn said that there probably only could be like Or I think that there only could be like at most 2 days. That I'd have to until they find the second one, I guess. I was making my hands go numb. They're turning white. You know, and I told Autumn I'm looking for something different because I can't keep doing this anymore where it's constantly working nights. I can't be doing that anymore. I'm sorry. It's getting to the fucking point that I'm not. You know, I'm not gonna stay, and Autumn knows that